Sagir, speak to us on what you observed at Wednesday's plenary compared to other screenings that you've witnessed.
Felicity, I would say first of all that this is the first in a long time that we've seen an individual who served as Chief of Defense Staff transition within a period of 2 months to becoming, the Minister of Defense. It was just in October that I had attended the pull-out parade for the Chief of Defense Staff retired, the 18th Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. And now 2 months later, in December, he has now been nominated, screened and confirmed as the Minister of Defense, with expectations that he will bring those 39 years of experience to bear in the administrative and policy side of things, especially as it regards to security and securing Nigeria. For most of the lawmakers who asked questions with regards to the situation in Nigeria, it was more like getting a deeper understanding of what he intends to do this time that he's no longer in uniform, now that he's going to be in the government and policy side of things, more than it was about a question about his competence and whether he was going to be able to do the job. I mean, we saw the visuals where one of the lawmakers, Senator Sagir Musa from Niger East, had actually moved the motion for the former Chief of Defense Staff to take a bow and leave, but the urgency and the sensitivity of the issues that were asked and brought forward, became imperative upon for the Senate President to caution, the lawmakers to say, well, it's not a good time to say take a bow and go, considering the sensitivity of the situation. So from what we observed, competence is not the question. Just expectations, so much expectation considering the situation of things in the country. We've now had, a spring up and, an increase in the activities of non-state actors and the activities of insurgents, some of which are now coming up in states that usually were not in the news. Talk about Niger State, talk about Kwara State, where we've begun to hear incessant attacks, being carried out. Talk about Kogi State that has been in the news in the last 1 week because of attacks, abductions. Talk about the situation, that we saw in other states as well. Kebbi State, where, the MAGA students were kidnapped. These issues were put to the front burner, particularly the Senate President saying there is a need to clarify to Nigerians and give them some form of understanding to know the reason why, first of all, the Kebbi State governor has been out in the media to say a few minutes before the attack was carried out in the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA, Kebbi State. Troops were pulled out of that vicinity, and it gave an opportunity to the assailants to carry out their attacks unhindered. There were also other issues that were raised, particularly the circumstances around how Brigadier General Uba, his communication was intercepted, his location was exposed, and he was picked up by these assailants. So a lot of questions about how issues can be addressed, but none about his competence to do the job.
All right, Sagir, thank you very much for the coverage.